Alright, hey YouTube, doing another video. I just recorded one and that'll go up before this one, and this one will probably go up the following week after the other one goes live. This video I want to talk about getting organized. So if you're preparing and you're doing it properly, you should have some people you're working with. If you have some people you work with, you need to have some standards in place and work out the details of certain things before anything can ever happen. So like me and some of my guys just finalized one of our core group of men putting in effort towards this prepping thing, towards this being ready for whatever comes, to help take care of each other and our families. And part of that sorry, got something in my throat. Part of that was us setting people into position. So we have a guy that's over our tech. We have a guy that's over our physical fitness programs. We have a guy that's over our medical. We have a guy that's over weapons, armaments, that kind of thing. We have a guy that's job it is to keep track of what's going on in the world and pass information along to help everybody be on the same page on what's going on, things we need to be tracking. I am the armor, so I'm in charge of the weapons and the weapon standards. We also went as far as to like, well, okay, so what does that mean? What are our standards? Are we just saying what is our standard for having a gun? Like, what guns do we recommend? Like, we all have a standard pistol. One of our guys, we still got to get him one, working on that, but you know, money's money and guns aren't cheap. But the rest of us, we all run the Smith & Wesson M&P, like I've talked about in other videos, just so we can share magazines. We don't have any issues with that. Two of us do have like Glock pattern pistols, the dagger specifically. You've seen that video on my channel, and the guy that has that video on his channel as well. Sorry, one second. Sorry, something stuck in my throat. In that conversation, as we were going over that, we decided for our crew, and I do recommend this for everybody, that that when we say standards, we're not just saying general goals or requirements. So we do have a standard for guns that meet our duty rifle standards, base rifle standards, all that kind of stuff, duty pistol, all that kind of stuff, which again would be the M&P. But we also wanted standards for how do you shoot, how do you move, what qualifies you in this group to carry a gun, aside from everything else. So part of my responsibilities as the armor is going through and writing those standards. What is the qualification process, basically? What are the drills that you have to complete, and what's the standard of those drills that you have to meet in order to qualify? Beyond that, we also went as far as detailing ammunition. Excuse me, sorry. We also went as far as to detail the ammunition that we are counting towards stockpile. So you can buy whatever ammo you want, but we have minimums that you have to have and be working towards as a member of this group. So it's 1,000 rounds pistol, 1,000 rounds rifle, right? Pretty basic. Got to have those, right? That's what most preppers do as their bare minimum for a defensive arm. We have magazine standards and all that kind of stuff. And so part of my job as the armor is I went through, I did all the research, which I already did, to find good ammunition, building out a list that I'll be sending out to the guys of 9mm, 308, and 5.56 ammunition that meets our standards for what I believe we will need should the need ever arise. And so those are the ammos that I am sending out to them so they count towards their stockpiles. If it's not one of those, it doesn't count towards your stockpile. It sounds harsh, but you have to have standards. Because not everybody knows what they're doing. So having someone whose job it is to make sure that there is a standard that everybody is meeting in a particular area is extremely helpful. Like our tech guy, he's in charge of, as we move forward, getting our comms and our radios and that kind of thing, making sure we all know what to do and how to use it, which is great for somebody like me because electronics have always been hard for me to understand. I can do it. It just takes a long time for me to get to the same knowledge level as him. So having somebody that already has that experience and that kind of bent that can take the information, condense it down, and go, here's what you need. And I can go, thanks. And I can do the same thing for him because he doesn't know guns like I do. So I can build this list for him and go, here you go. This is what you need to do. And he can go, cool, thanks. Now I have something to work with. And you're not on your own to figure out what you're doing. And that's part of the point of having a community and a group, a crew that you run with, so that they can fill in your deficiencies and you don't have to do everything. The way we have it kind of structured now is the guy who's over that department is going to build out training requirements, build out qualification requirements, all that kind of stuff, and then teach it to everybody. So you will be very proficient in these areas, but you don't have to be an expert like I am in certain things with firearms and stuff like that. And that frees up other people to learn other things and be the expert in that field. Same thing with our medic guy. He's got more medical experience than anyone else. And so he's heading that up so we know what medical supplies we need, how the kit should be set up, and what kind of trainings we need to do so we can get everybody up to speed and work towards being even more proficient than we are now in a more streamlined manner. Uh, on that note, like with the firearms, you do need to standardize your magazines for the AR-15 because there are a lot of different AR-15 manufacturers and not all of them are good. As far as a duty grade magazine. Like when I say duty grade, I mean something that it's the end of the world and you can't get more of, that you don't have to worry about it completely falling apart on you. It's a mechanical device because it's a spring that goes up and down, all that kind of stuff. So it's a simple device, but it is got a mechanical aspect to it of the movement. So it will wear. Everything will wear out. But having a product that you can assuredly bet your life and your family's life too is important. So me, with the knowledge and experience that I have, can pass that on to my crew and tell them basically this magazine good, this magazine bad. Like simple like that, and just give them a standard to work towards to get their 10 rifle mags minimum and their 5 pistol mags and all that kind of stuff sorted out. So when they go online or go to a store and they see a magazine on a good sale, they can go, is this on my list? If it's not on my list, I know, don't need it, not gonna worry about it. I'll look for it another time. And that just helps, again, streamline the process. Because if you have a group, especially like most people call their groups mutual assistance groups or MAGs, if it's a mutual assistance group, then you should be sharing information and knowledge base to grow your capabilities. Even though like we have a lot, all of us are car guys at some level or another, but me and one other dude actually worked as mechanics. So we are taking that knowledge and helping spread that out to everybody else because we have more experience in that than a lot of them. And that's important because we don't all run at the same, we don't all live at the same place right now. So being able to make sure your car is up and running so that you have a better chance of getting somewhere, or how to get a car up and running, it's super helpful, and it's hard information to just learn on your own if you don't know where to start. So having somebody with some knowledge to help guide you on your journey is part of the point. And one of the things we even discussed is like bringing in new people, bringing in younger people. Like, how do we do that? How do we, as because we're all men, how do we as men mentor men to be better men? The Bible makes it very clear, like how men are supposed to behave and act, to the point where there's a verse in Hebrews that literally just it says "act like men." It's one of my favorite verses. It's great, but if you don't have someone teaching you what that means, it's a lot harder to do. If all your examples of men are weak and dangerous because of that, you're not going to be an asset. You're going to be a liability until you learn how to be a good man. So having people who are further along the road of being a good man is super important. And it's super important, especially as you get older, that you find guys younger than you and you teach them what you know. Uh, Depending on the age gap, what I usually do is I find guys that are closer to my age but still younger, so it's like a big brother kind of relationship, and I help guide them to not make the same mistakes that I made and to be better men than I am, so that hopefully when they're my age, that they're twice the man I am now. Um, I want them to surpass me because they have me to jump off of. And so that way, when they find men to mentor, they can surpass them and jump off of them. And we just keep building the quality of man that is around. Uh, Especially, this day and age, everybody's talking about toxic masculinity. What's toxic is the lack of masculinity, genuine masculinity. Uh, Men are supposed to be dangerous. So if you're not dangerous, you're not peaceful, you're weak. And that's where I feel like I'm supposed to end, guys. So thanks for watching. Peace.